Hello friends, and welcome to the next episode of Crick Vidya's IPL podcast. Today we'll be analyzing Mumbai Indians and how their squad looks for the upcoming UAE IPL. As usual, we have Yasir with us and Balaji, and a new guest, Manoj, who is again a cricket fan and quite active on Twitter. And we'll be discussing the Mumbai Indians squad amongst us. Manoj, since you are a special guest, we'll start with you. And how we do it is that we start with the top order, then we go to the middle order, and then the bowlers. So you can maybe start with who would be your top three in the squad.
Yeah, for MI, the core has been the most important cog for their success. The core involves Rohit Pollard, Hardik Krona, and Bumrah. The team is built around them. So for the top order, Rohit is a given since he's the captain, and opening would be the best choice for him. After a good season he had, 400 run season after 2016 he had in 2019. Quinton de Kock, I might go with Quinton de Kock because he was their best batsman in last season. Lynn is a good option, but I would go with Quinton de Kock, especially at the start of the tournament. Number 3 is Surya Kumar Yadav. He's been a revelation since 2018 for Mumbai. And number 4 would be Ishan Kishan. There are not many better options for MI apart from Saurabh Tiwari and stuff. So I would go with Ishan Kishan. He's inconsistent, but still I back his ability to take on spin, like he did against Kuldeep in 2018.
Yeah.
Number 5 would be Pollard, the senior statesman of Mumbai Indians, a big match player, and he's been a vital cog for the success of MI in recent years. Number 6 would be Krunal Pandya. He gives me the left arm spin option. He endured a bad season last year, but still I back him to be in my team this year. And number 7 is a no-brainer, Hardik Pandya, the best all-rounder in India in current times. And my number 8 would be Rahul Chahar, the spinner. He could bat a bit, and he's the best spinner for MI. There's no options for them or back Rahul Chahar to be my spinner. And my number 9 would be Nathan Coulter-Nile. I don't trust Malinga with his age. So Nathan Coulter-Nile would give me the batting option too. And he's a hit-the-deck pace bowler. And Trent Bolt would be my number 10. He had endured is not so successful in IPL, but still with MI you can trust him. And number 11 is Jasprit Bumrah, the best IPL bowler.
Great. So I think Mumbai is that kind of a squad where a lot of deviation would not be there in all the 4 teams. But we still, let's see what Yasir has picked as his Mumbai squad.
So Manoj has stolen all the limelight from me because this is exactly the same 11 that Manoj is fielding, but pretty much in the same order as well. So I'll have Rohit and de Kock opening. Rohit, I think fits in naturally as an opener, and while in the past he has tried to bat in the middle order to give the batting team a little more stability, his natural position, I continue to believe, is opening. So he should open along with de Kock and set the tone for the innings. Interestingly, de Kock, while I was looking at his IPL numbers, he has a strike rate of around 130, which is a little surprising and I think a little underwhelming for a for somebody like De Kock, who at the international arena has a much higher strike rate. So I believe De Kock has to come good at some point of time. Then at 3 and 4, I'll have Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan. Surya Kumar Yadav has improved significantly and is a little underrated. Has improved leaps and bounds. Ishan Kishan is a bit of a maverick and very good against spin. So that allows you to negate any leg spin option that the opposition has. And he can take them on right from the word go. So, and he played a lot of good cameos in the previous seasons. So that is something that Ishan Kishan can do once again. And then the real core and the strength of the Mumbai 11 comes in with Pollard, Hardik Pandya, and Krunal. With Pollard, you always feel that maybe he'll slowly start fading, but he proves all his detractors wrong. And Mumbai Indians have continued to keep faith in Pollard. And so Pollard gives you a very good option in terms of all-round ability as well. So you have Pollard, Hardik, and Krunal. Then from the bowling option, you have Chahar and Coulter Denial. While Coulter Denial is not, there can be debate over Coulter Denial, but I believe he gives you all-round option as well. Chahar is again a good upcoming leg spinner, balls the quick leg spinner variety, and has done well in the IPL. So this could be an important season for him, because typically with spinners, initially other opponents take a little time to understand, but once they really understand you through video analysis, etc., then they may go after you. So this season could be critical for Chahar. And then I have Trent Bolt and Bumrah. I mean, Bumrah, less spoken the better. And Trent Bolt, in my team dynamics, I am planning to use Trent Bolt for 3 overs upfront in the power play, so that he bowls that attacking line, and if he can get quick wickets, that could dent the opposition. So my initially power play overs would be 3 of Trent Bolt and maybe 2 of Coulter Denial and 1 of Bumrah, so that then I have Bumrah for the fag end of the innings.
Got it. So same team for you. So Bala, what would be your 11? I hope it's not the same.
Yeah. So I don't see the opening combination, or I don't set the opening combination as easy as Manoj and Yazir logged straight away, because Lynn had an extraordinary T10 league. See, if it was in India, I would have straight away gone for Quinton de Kock without any second thoughts. But because he proved. You can't expect much from a left-hand batsman in India who did extremely well, and he was a leading run scorer for Mumbai last season. So if it was in India, I would have directly picked De Kock. But Chris Lynn's T10 stats read like in 8 games he scored 371 runs with a strike rate of 236. So he missed 100 twice. He got the opportunity to score 100 in a T10 game. So imagine what destruction he made in the Abu Dhabi UAE conditions with 29 fours and 31 sixes and 450s. 450s. I know the quality of bowling is completely different, but still the conditions remain the same. And he was, unleashing himself, and he was playing like he had a point to prove. So he was very forced to reckon with in T10 league. But to start with, I will have, this is my 11, but my preferred 11 I am saying, but I don't think definitely Mumbai are going to play this 11. If you want Mumbai to play this 11, I will say that 11 also. So what 11 you want? You want the preferred 11?
We
want your
11.
Yeah,
we want your 11.
Yeah, then Rohit and Ishan Kishan will be my openers.
Okay.
So that right-left combination, and Ishan Kishan can start taking the pressure off from Rohit Sharma right away. Then number 3 is a no-brainer. That's Surya Kumar Yadav. That's is consistent as ever. So number 4, I will have Shafri and Rutherford. He had a brilliant T10. He had good experience on UAE conditions as well, and spin basher as well. We have seen him hitting, Rashid Khan for fours and sixes all over the park. So and lefty to have in middle. So I won't and a useful bowling option as well. Can bowl slow cutters in UAE conditions. So gives extra dimension to bowling attack for Rohit Sharma. And five will be Krunal Pandya. That's how they are using him. They are holding back Pollard and Hardik Pandya for later last 5 overs or 6 overs. And if wicket falls within 10 overs or 12 overs, Krunal is the go-to man for them. Then six will be Kainan Pollard. And seven will be Hardik Pandya. So that will have I can have one, two, three, four bowling options in my top seven. So that itself gives a whole new dimension to this MI lineup. Then I will have Rahul Chahar, best leg spinner, third best or fourth best leg spinner in India, and the best leg spinner for Mumbai as well. So that's a given. And then I will have Mitchell McClenaghan at number nine. He's I don't rate who is that Bolt in T20s, even if he is going to bowl with a new ball, I don't rate him. Mitchell McClenaghan has been a proven customer, for MI over the years. So I will start with him. Definitely, I will start with him. If things doesn't go well, then I will bring in Coulter for his batting. And even if Coulter fails, then I will go for Bolt. So number 10, you have Phil Bumrah there, and 10 will be Malinga. Even though he's aged, his cutters and grip deceiving slower balls will be better in UAE conditions. So he has a lot to serve. I feel still. I will definitely start with him. If things don't go well, then I already have options like Golden and everything. So I will swap Malinga, but I will start with Malinga. This will be my 11.
Great. So you started with Lane, and Lane is not part of your 11.
Yeah, no, that's how this MI have so many options on their plate. They can play any day, any player on their day, and each one can be a match winner as well.
Okay, but you have given a good introduction for him because he is part of my team. So, so that is what my 11 would be.
Okay.
So I have Rohit Sharma and Chris Lynn to open. So as you said, Lynn has a great record in UAE, and I would want him to start. And here I have an option to go back to Quinton de Kock in case Lynn is not able to perform or something like that. Again, 3 remains constant for everybody. Surya Kumar Yadav, and I have Ishan Kishan at 4. So if you see, I have only 3 overseas players here, and so I have an option here to replace Ishan Kishan with Rutherford. But I would like to start with Ishan Kishan because he is really good against spin, and he has not realized his potential for Bombay, and he has not been a constant also. I think he has to be given a long run so that he can perform. And then 5, 6, 7 are the core that everybody talks about. So Krunal, Hardik, and Karan. So the order of Pollard and Hardik Pandya can be shuffled also. So that is not an issue. And then, so as Balaji always does, he goes with additional pacers, and my 11 would always have an additional spinner. So I have Jayant Yadav who will be at 8, and then Rahul Chahar at 9. At 10, I have an option. I prefer to go with Lasith Malinga, but because, as Manoj said, the age is catching up with him. So I would ideally like to start with him and see how he performs because his cutters and Yorkers were still lethal last year. But I have an option to go with McClenaghan, and then 11th is number 11 is Bumrah. So that will be my 11. It gives me an additional spin option. And if I take out Ishan and get in Rutherford, then I have another 4th spin option also. And the Pacers, I have Pollard who can be good in the UAE conditions, slow pitches. And then Pandya is there. And Bumrah and Malinga can take care of the death bowling. So that will be my 11.
But regarding the conditions, I guess it won't be slow to start with. Ishan Poral, the Kings XI Punjab fast bowler, he has said in an interview that according to his knowledge, the curators would leave some grass on the wicket, so that deck is hard, because there are only 3 stadiums, right?
Yes.
So if it has to be, the whole tournament has to be played in those 3 decks, some sort of grass would be left on the pitch at the start of the tournament. So I guess it won't be the slow at the start of the tournament.
So that actually suits Mumbai Indians because I don't think they have a very good spin attack, and if the pitches are good for batting and their strength, uh, if we look at their batting order, is the the lower middle order and middle order are also very strong. So we should expect them to start strong in this IPL, unlike what they usually do, that they start slow and then try to do catch up, which they have been actually successful multiple times. But I think this time we should expect them to start strong.
Regarding the spinners, I guess they have got quite a good depth in spin bowling, I guess, with Jayant Yadav, the off spinner. We all know what he did against CSK in the qualifier. And there's also a kid called Prince Balwant Rai Singh. He's an unknown kid, and I haven't seen an image of him in Google yet, and I'm searching for that.
I know.
He could be.
MI scout trust him. We can check blindly also. We can also blindly trust him.
So
I think possibly one
Anukul
of the
Roy is also there, the under-19 left arm spinner.
He played last year as well against Chennai.
No, Anukul Roy hasn't made his debut yet.
No, Anukul Roy played 1 game against Chennai. His economy rate is 6, I think.
Not so sure.
Yeah.
So Anukul Rai, I think they have taken as because he bats a bit also.
Yeah,
so he would be
bats a
Krunal Pandya's replacement in case required at some point in the tournament. So I think they would treat him like that.
He played 1 game against Chennai in league game in Chepauk.
Right.
I might have forgotten it. If you look at the backups, they got like for like replacements for every player. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, so Mumbai is always known for being I think the best scout because and the team that they build. And what they do is, I think, so like a Prince Balwant Rai or Anukul Rai, they have taken them, but their original plan would be that they will play after 2 years or 1 year.
Yeah.
So they are preparing them so that they develop into better players, and then they use them and they unleash them and they perform well. So that is something that they are known for, actually.
Yeah, I mean, not just, I mean, even if you look at Mohsin Khan, he is done well at in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Is the left armer, and from the videos that I've seen, he has that height and bounce and
he can move the
all
ball
those factors working for him. He can move the ball. So, so the fringe players with Mumbai Indians are something that we all need to watch out for, because typically they will have put in a lot of effort to make the squad, and the selection is usually right, bang on in their case.
Regarding Lynn, I guess with Mumbai Indians, you can always expect that Lynn would be a starter. They would they have tried these things in the past with Evan Lewis and Quinton de Kock and stuff like that. So
I think, and also in those conditions, as we discussed before, the first 6 overs become really important.
Yeah,
you need to capitalize on those power play overs, and then Lynn becomes very important from that respect, because Rohit likes to take his time nowadays. So
his
he
approach
starts
was
a little slow.
Bit different in the previous season. Rohit Sharma, he tried to take on the bowlers in the previous season.
Yeah, but then he becomes a little inconsistent. He so
my
sir.
My one observation with Lynn is his success in the tournament will depend a lot on how he plays the spinners, because the opposing teams will try to tie him down using spinners. I mean, he's very good against fast bowlers and even medium pacers, because he's obviously used to that kind of bowling, and he has done well against them. But if the opposing teams, I think, will try to use spinners intelligently against him, and how he plays them would be possibly would define his success in the
Yes.
tournament.
Post World Cup, he definitely improved his skills against spin bowling. He was seen with ease when spinners came into picture. So this time I think he will put up a better performance against spinners, because he definitely improved his game against spinners.
Yeah, and I think he had a good PSL season as well previously. I think, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure.
The season where smoke came from his head.
Lower Kaladis.
Yeah. So let's look at a few more players who we have not taken. One is Saurabh Tiwari.
Yeah.
So I think Mumbai have kept on backing him, but don't see him playing more than 1 or 2 games.
He played in 2017, I guess. Scored a 50 in a match, but that was the only match he played. They trust him,
Yeah. So how has his domestic season been? Anybody tracking him?
I haven't followed it yet.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Saurabh Tiwari.
Saurabh Tiwari.
Saurabh Tiwari's domestic record.
Yes, Saurabh Tiwari. No, I don't know his exact numbers, but he's still in and around, hanging in there by a quite margin, and playing some crucial knocks here and there. But I don't think he will be even there in their second choice list. Just for a backup, they have, I guess. Aditya Tare is definitely the go-to man if they need anything, like for
Yep.
Surya Kumar Yadav. So he is definitely there.
So one thing that
Also-
Bombay people in Bombay feel is that they do not get enough opportunities. So I think that is what Aditya Tare would also be feeling, because he's been there with them for quite a while and doesn't get many games.
Wasn't Aditya Tare the batsman when they had to score like some
against
180 or 90
Faulkner,
runs?
the last ball six.
Last ball six. Yeah, it was Aditya Tare.
The football style
yeah.
celebration.
Football. The other thing with Saurabh Tiwari is that he's also a liability on the field. I mean, in the sense that he's definitely not agile. And so it's not just the fact that his batting may have dipped, he doesn't give you anything on the fielding side as well.
But am I allowed to have players who have played earlier for them? So that might be a reason they have bought him.
Sure.
Even Coulter was such a pick.
Yeah.
Kulkarni.
Dhaval Kulkarni, I think, was there with them last year also.
Last year he was with Rajasthan Royals.
Rajasthan
Oh,
Royals.
acha. Okay.
He was
Sorry.
traded, I guess.
A good backup for Bumrah. They struggled with it in the previous year with Barinder Shran.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think he might get 1 or 2 games at max, because Dhaval Kulkarni would always, especially their pace attack. If you look, they have enough bowlers and backup. So Dhaval Kulkarni might not get a chance this
Yeah.
year at least,
With a fast bowling attack, the chances are slim for him.
because they have enough options to
Yeah.
play 2 pacers and then take out an overseas player from the batting. So
And MI always loves the overseas pacers. So
Yes,
Yeah.
always they will play with 2 overseas pacers, no matter what the conditions. That's what Rohit Sharma said.
right from 2013, I guess.
Yes,
with
because
Mitchell Johnson.
his tactic is to attack the Indian domestic batters in the middle overs with the hit deck bowlers, overseas foreigners, so that our domestic batters are not used to play the hit deck bowlers. So if Mitchell McClenaghan or any fast bowler, 2 overseas fast bowler they usually play. Mitchell McClenaghan bowls, they will definitely struggle to guard his length and line and length, because if the deck bowlers, our domestic, there are not much
Not used to it.
exposure. Yeah, not much exposure for domestic batters. So that's the good ploy actually. So that's why I'm a huge fan of playing 2 domestic fast bowlers. But teams like DC don't have, any fast bowler apart from Rabada, so they can't play. But 2 fast overseas fast bowlers.
Avish Khan is an option.
Yeah, Avish Khan is one guy. Mohit Sharma is experienced as well.
Yeah, let's come back to MI though.
Yeah, MI, yeah. Sorry.
So, but
I get
MI
carried
doesn't
away.
have a good record in UAE, so that is something they need to look at. What they did wrong last time, they lost all their
And
5 matches.
Yeah, Mike Azzi used to open that season, I guess.
Yeah.
yes, and this is even year as well, so they should be really careful.
Yeah, 3 issues I see with them is the middle order issue. The previous season they lost most number of wickets in the middle phase. The second issue would be their first half, how they start.
Yeah.
They haven't won the first match of the season for a long time. And the third issue is the odd year, odd even year. That issue.
Yeah, so I think they would also be cognizant of that fact. So, but they back themselves to come back every year, even if they start slow. So, but given that the pitches will become slower and slower as the tournament progresses, I think they need to be mindful and start strong.
The middle order is the key. They lost most number of wickets in the last season. And Ishan Kishan and Krunal Pandya endured a bad form in the last season too.
Yeah, so that I think that would
Ishan
be the
Kishan was
key.
more of a hit or miss player, didn't score consistently as well.
Need someone to hold and also play attacking cricket too at the same time.
Yes,
So
that's why I would like
Genuine
him to
number 4.
open.
yeah, so maybe they can also try Surya Kumar at 4. That gives them a little more stability in the middle, and Ishan Kishan can bat. For Balaji, he's already opening, but for others, I think maybe he can bat at 3, and Surya Kumar can come a little lower. So that
His
gives them a little.
records aren't that great, I guess, at number 4. Might struggle with accelerating the scorecard.
Yeah, actually, he likes to bat in the power play, so that is something that he will not get an opportunity if he's batting at number 4.
Also, Krunal becomes very critical for them because with Krunal not being in form as it was the previous season, that weakens their lower half and puts pressure on Hardik and Pollard in terms of. I also remember, I think it was not last season, but the season before that, MI used Krunal as an attacking option higher up the order as well. To accelerate
like a
and
floater,
to also bring in a like a floater and to bring in a left-handed option, which may not be so this year if Ishan is there, but that was, I think, and he did well. He did pretty well. He had a very good strike rate in terms of hitting ability, etc.
Yeah, but his batting has been not up to the mark. The last couple of seasons. Whether it is whether the teams have found him out, or whether there's lack of ability or poor form, I don't know.
So another concern that they might find themselves in is if Kyron Pollard is not performing. So last time also that was a discussion, but I think he came out well. But let's see how he does this time, because he's very critical for their record.
They would back him whatever may.
Yeah, so that was the statement last year also. But I think with age, those hitting abilities and those kind of things, we need to see
that's
how
why
Pollard.
they're trying to groom Rutherford, I guess, for
Yeah.
his role.
So Rutherford can be a good player. So I think they will give him a few games for sure.
Yes, he
because
can be, in the long term, he will be their next future finisher. They have already roped in a core and, perfect replacement for Pollard. Pollard is already 33, so he is just 21. And if he stays for another 1 or 2 years with MI, then he will become the core member of MI as well, if given a chance. And he is an extraordinary talent, Sherfan Rutherford. We have seen him, tonking Rashid Khan for 4 sixes in GLT20, GLT local Canada. So he's an extraordinary player.
Yeah. So I think if he can find his foot and play good cricket in IPL, he might become a permanent feature in this year only. So they might not have to wait for next year. And
yes.
So maybe a Bala squad could also work for them. But otherwise also they can just drop Ishan Kishan and get in Rutherford.
His bowling is an added advantage in those conditions. Just can give you 1 or 2 overs in middle, so that it might take the pressure of Hardik Pandya, who is their fifth bowler. And anyways, if any one bowler has a bad day, also he can come and chip in with overs. So that's a good depth in bowling as well, and terrific hitter of the ball as well.
Yeah, and Hardik Pandya's uh, health would also be a critical thing. Whether he can bowl those overs or whether he would primarily play as a batsman. So we'll have to
Yeah,
see that as well.
it was his best season last year, so he would be the most important player for them this year too.
So I think he was the reason for at least 2 to 3 wins for them last year,
Yeah,
where he gave them quick runs in the last 2-3 overs,
and
or and
single-handedly
also
took them to
chasing.
victory against KKR, I guess, with that 90.
Yeah, and I think at the RCB game also he got some 20 plus runs in the last over while batting. So
His strike rate last year was close to 200. So
Yeah, somewhere behind Russell, I guess.
just behind, behind Russell. So, that I think more than his bowling, it is his batting and ability to accelerate that
Is there an
helps
opportunity
Bombay.
for him to come up the order? Maybe the number 4 role?
Yes, actually they can try that because they have two similar hitters down the order, which is Pollard and Pandya. So if they can promote one of the players, see if Hardik Pandya can make impact at the lower down the order, imagine the impact that he can make if he has 7 or 6 overs to go, so that he can take 20 balls, face 20 balls instead of 10 balls, facing 10 balls and getting 20 runs. If he faces 20 balls, the damage could be double. But obviously, it can work either ways. You can also go for less. You can also make less impact when compared to what he does in 10 balls when he comes to 20 balls. But it's always a try because holding back two like for like hitters for the later half does no good for them. Pollard at the down or either Pandya at the down should do augur well. Both coming after 14 or 15 overs is
Yeah.
waste of resources, I feel.
but then I
Pollard takes
think
his time, I guess.
yeah, so Pollard becomes a better option to come in early because he takes his time, and Hardik can hit from the word go. So I think they, even if they have to put one of them up in the top order, I think that'll be Pollard. They will.
Only thing is, from his individual player development and even from a larger Indian role as well, ideally if he starts going up, then that is something that will play a dividend going forward. But so I was reading his interview somewhere, and he I think it was one of those Instagram chats or something, and he did say that while I agree that I would like to open up or
Go up the order.
or up the order, but then there is no one who can accelerate at my pace
Yeah.
down the order.
Crickbuzz
I
interview
think
with
it was
Harsha, I guess.
with Harsha, with Harsha Bhogle. So he said that. So that's a very valid point, and that is also true with the Indian team as well. So so that is a trade-off, I guess. I don't know how teams.
I think
sort it
that
out.
is a discussion with all such players that if they are batting at number 7 on, so they'll not get enough balls. So there will always be an argument that they should be given more balls. So similarly for Russell also, Calcutta would generally hold him back till the time it's absolutely necessary for him to go out. So that for and against argument will always remain, that whether they can do more destruction if they go out, let's say in the 10th over. But we would, I think teams have always preferred to keep those players till the end because they can change the game in their favor.
Win at the death.
Yeah. So I think we've covered most players. So
Trent Bolt.
Yeah.
Trent
So
Bolt is a curious case.
yeah.
His
So
IPL records are bad.
yeah.
To state
Please.
the truth. But I guess with the MI, the bowling attack around him, and also the planning that goes behind it, Bolt could have his best season in IPL with MI, I guess.
Yes, if he is used properly, used properly in the sense, a team like MI can afford Bolt to bowl 3 overs upfront because they have Bumrah and Malinga or Golden Ila, two gun death bowlers. So they don't need the third pacer necessarily to hold their overs for the death. So they can go all out with Bolt in the first 6 overs. But the same thing cannot be done by other teams because last year when he was in DC, they needed him to bowl in death. which he isn't a good dead bowler. That is a different issue. But he was the spearhead once Rabada was injured. But here Mumbai have lots of luxury to use Bolt straight up with a new ball. But whatever it is, I personally rate McClenaghan better than Bolt as a T20 bowler
Yeah,
because
if you got Malinga in the squad, there is a you can have McLennan. But since we got Nathan Coulter-Nile, we can afford to have Bolt in the side.
yeah.
And Bombay has always rated McClenaghan very highly, and he has performed for them whenever he's got that opportunity. So I think it's they would be going towards him in case
And,
Malinga is not performing.
Trent
So
Bolt
that
and Bumrah is a dream combination for them, for everybody, I guess.
so Trent Bolt has to perform actually. So he has not really done that bit in IPL. So we hope that he can get that rhythm going that he has for his national team also. So in that case, then that if he can do that, it will be a great asset for Mumbai.
And it could take off the load of Bumrah, very much. He has been leading the attack, for the past couple of years.
Yes, true.
And with pitches slowing down, it is possible that Malinga may play a
he can come
greater
at the
role.
later stage.
With his change of space and all those deliveries, possibly will be a little more impactful.
Yeah, the likes of Jayant Yadav, Malinga, Lasith
Yeah.
Malinga, they could come at the back end of the tournament.
But knowing Mumbai, I think they will start with Malinga, and in case he is not able to perform, then only they'll go to somebody else because they rate him quite highly. So let's see how that goes for them. So now let's move to that last portion of podcast where we try to understand whether we think that Mumbai Indians can make it to the playoffs. So Yasir, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I do see it's a consistent team. Mumbai Indian has a very strong squad, and I definitely see them making it. They have a very good captain as well, so I see them making it to the top 4.
Manoj, your views?
Yeah, they are definite finalists.
Okay, straight away finalists.
They have the potential, the team management is also very good, in that aspect. And the whole squad is good. So I guess they can go all the way, break the odd even season this year.
Bala, your views?
Yeah, they are one of the top 2 teams for me, and potentially they can be even the second team after CSK to defend the title. No team has defended the title successfully in IPL history. So I think they have all the attributes to defend the title, and definitely they I can't say they are not making the playoffs. Even if they play their second string squad team, they are going to make the playoffs anyways. But once if you're in playoffs, it's anybody's game. So, but as of now, if you want to judge, then I will see them in the finals.
Yeah, I think that is the common view, and I also would believe that they would easily make it to the playoffs at least. Not sure about the final and those kind of things, but yeah, they will make it to the playoffs, and I think this time it will be more critical for them to start strong. Otherwise, they would not be able to catch up. So that would be a critical thing for them. And the one thing that they have going for them is that they still have an 11 which is the last consisting of all the last year players, so they don't really have that problem that a new player is coming in and
Familiarity
they need
issue.
to test. So that is something that is really positive for them, that their first 11 is all old players, so that would go good for them. Maybe Lin, if not playing, then definitely all 11 would be last year players. So if that is the case and they can start strong, I think they'll definitely make it. And then, as Bala said, that once you reach the playoffs, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
So I think that will be it, guys. We'll close it here. Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank
guys.
you.
thank you, Manoj, for coming on our podcast. Balaji,
Yeah,
thanks
thanks.
again.
Thanks,
And
Bala.
so let's see how people also we'll take people's comments on what they feel about the 11, and if they think that there can be a better 11. So we'll get to know once we release the podcast, and we hope the best for Mumbai Indians. And I think we'll not be surprised if they are able to defend the title also.
Yeah.
So thank you guys, and
Thank
Thank
you.
you. See
bye,
you.
and have a nice day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.